this meeting going here, special call meeting with Mayor and Board of Aldermen on June the 4th, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. at Maple Street, and will you please call the roll?
Chip Clark.
Here.
Roger Lofton.
Here.
Tim Rhodes.
Here.
Donna Ross.
Here.
Jimmy White.
Here.
Gabe Williams.
Here.
Sandra Wood.
Here.
We got a quorum, so we have plea. Chief, you the prayer for us.
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for the beautiful day that you've given us, Lord, for the blessing that it is. We thank you for all the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us. Father, I just praise you for the community that I live in and for the people that are here on this board that are here doing what's in the best interest of this community, Father. Father, I pray you bless them, that you give them wisdom and discernment through our time. Father, be with our troops that are forward deployed and their families that are here stateside. I just pray that you give them the comfort and peace that only you can. Watch over us, guide us, direct us, forgive us where we fail you. It's in Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item we got is public comment. Angela, I believe you're first up. State your name for the record.
PGA's basic home usage. The PGA is the one that fluctuates with the market, whatever the market is.
The next thing I had to discuss with, so we brought up very end last meeting about Mr. Jim Rowe's position on the board, and obviously we talked about this lawsuit and everything else. When you were addressed by your attorney, he specifically stated that as long as he's residing on this board, everything he does is lawful. Until he's been ousted by a tribunal, a local tribunal, to remove him, everything he does is completely fine and voted on in accordance with that. What I don't understand is why we have members of the board continue to bring that up, and we had a meeting specifically about that person, and there was an opportunity to bring out the vote, but that never happened. Nobody called for it, nobody made a motion for it, or anything like that. And at the end of the day, I think that needs to be said and done instead of us continuing to rework on that issue. When we got the team guys running around here, we got everybody and their mom investigating, and that's not very good use of taxpayer resources. And so I just wanna make sure that people understand what's all taking place around here right now. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. That concludes, further comments. We don't have to do this tonight, and we'll tell everyone this is a special call meeting, so all we will be addressing the item that's on the agenda for tonight. Item 1 is the first reading of an ordinance to adopt the gas rates. Yes.
So, this is based upon, the rate study we done, that he initially, he set these parameters that the board adopted, and then basically stated in that, we need to evaluate it every year, whether he's evaluated or not. And, that's what we're doing, and this is an additional 60 cents on the customer charge, and then those rate classes that are underperforming, a 10 and 15 cent increase on those, to start the process of getting those up to where they are recovering the cost.
Any questions for Justin?
I don't have a question, but I need to declare that I have a spouse and a stepchild that work for utilities, and we'll go ahead and son-in-law that work for public works. That, I want to declare as to the business of this meeting tonight.
Thank you, Roger. Anybody else? Okay.
Mayor, can I say something?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'd like to address the board and the people. Being this is my second term on the board, I have to say this is the atypical small town politics I had always heard about, but am now part of. Me not knowing anything for a few years was probably good for a while. I am and have always been a person to let the manager manage their department, and that's why they get paid the big bucks. Therefore, they're responsible for the department, the people's, and the monies. They are who we will blame and who we will praise. This is probably my own fault, but I have never been to any department in the city since I've been elected alderman to go talk to all the people in there. I don't know many people. I know their faces, and they know my face. But by that way, that's just because I wanted it to be that way, because therefore I'm not personally involved in anybody that works. And therefore, and I hope it can't be said that I'm prejudicial. Yeah, I made some very wrong votes, but I voted. But the one thing we will do at this meetings and things like this is we will vote, okay? And I voted for every new and used fire truck, police car, truck, everything that we needed, and I thought we needed them, and evidently we did. And the world famous chipper, okay, I voted for it. I will say I did. Now we have tried, I've been here for 4 years, we've tried and tried each year to balance the budget, and we've become deeper each year. The general fund budget keeps rising with less monies coming in. Just like the step raises in the past. We were going for exuberant amount of property tax for the funding of just that. We came out with a small increase, but it's still an increase. Then the board voted to do away with the step raise, but they were still given. Now, I believe in raises, and just like anybody else, I want everybody to make all the money they can make, but every job, I believe, has a ceiling or a maximum. And I don't want to have anything taken away from anybody that has been given to them. I want everybody to please understand that. That's not what I believe, okay? And just in the general fund alone, I don't believe that we should have 200 people making the same amount of raise every time. I've never heard of that in my life, but I hadn't been in this type of work either. Everybody don't get the same raise. Everybody don't do this. I mean, I don't know how it happens, but it does. The only philosophy that I have is the pie is only so big. It can only be cut so many ways. But we keep making the pie bigger and bigger, okay? We keep adding more on every year, and the expense and the money that's coming in is just not there. So, here we are trying to make the budget work, and I don't think it's still not going to, hope it does tonight, but our biggest expense on anything, any business, and people that's got businesses will know, the biggest expense are your employees. I'm assuming you agree with me. Do we keep doing the same thing all the time? No, we have to use common sense as a business people and run the city like a business. Therefore, I believe that what we should have done in the beginning is take a look at personnel, because I think every department is overstaffed. Okay? So I think we should stop hiring right now. Okay? Changes have got to be made. You just can't cut everybody out. And I look at it this way. Person making $50,000 a year for the city, it costs the city $71,000. $75,000 a year person costs $106,000. $85,000 costs $120,000, and $100,000 a year person costs $142,000. Now, how much money do we need? Do we need 600, 700, 900? With 200 employees and things like that, it shouldn't be hard to get your budget in order, but I believe it. I don't know, I know budgets are budgets, but you can't keep adding to your budget every year. If a business comes in and opens up in this town, or buys a existing business, they'll come in and they'll say, how many employees you have, and how long you been here, and how long you been here. You've been here 25 years, and I'm gonna tell you, within 9 months, those 25-year people and those 20-year people are not gonna be there, for one reason: because the older the employees, the more money they cost, the more the insurance goes up. So I don't know what the reason that we can do this, but I'm going to be the one that says we have too many employees and we just can't take everybody's money away from them. Okay, it's not fair. That's in essence what I want to say.
Is there anybody else with a comment? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance about the gas rates.
I'll make that motion.
Sandra made the motion and Gabe seconded. Please call the roll.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
No.
Donna Ross.
No.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
passes. The second reading of an ordinance, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment. It's in your packet, and what we can do is look at it on page, excuse me, on page 4 and 5. We've been over this several times. And what this is correcting our budget so we can turn it in, because we're out of budget and we have to do this before we can finish the year up. If there's any questions, I'll ask Kathy to come to the podium and explain it if anyone has any questions on this amendment.
So do we have the COLA raise in here and?
No. This is from 2014. This is ain't the budget yet. This is just the old budget. We gotta get it amended so we can finish the year out.
Nothing changed since the last time.
No.
I make a motion that we accept it.
Second.
Call the roll.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Woods.
Yes.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
We had some requests, we did have a request from Alderman about the bonus payout for the coming year. We had it set at $250. Some of them had wanted to do a COLA raise. So what we did, we put this on here for discussion, either the 500, 250, or whatever the board wants to approve for the upcoming budget. That's why this is here, so we can get it in the budget before we vote on it. So it's open for discussion.
Mayor, I'd just like to say, I don't think that we have a large number of workers that are extremely dedicated, hard-working folks, and for us to cut their bonus in half to our people out keeping our streets clean and picking up the garbage off the side of the street, I don't think that's the answer. That is impacting all 200 employees that we have, and, Jimmy, I'm gonna have to agree with Alderman White. This is impacting the person that's making $100,000 a year. Their longevity and their bonus is impacted extremely different from the person that is making $50,000 a year. And, so I don't know that, I think what we're doing to me with the bonus payout and the longevity pay is we're stopping it for right now, and we're cutting ourselves down to a $200,000 deficit. But then next year, it's rearing its head right back, because we're not making substantial changes to the payroll.
Anybody else? All right, no lack of a motion, we'll move on to the next one. Item 4 is the hold for fiscal year 2027 for longevity pay, and that's only to hold it for 1 year.
I guess my question is, what is our plan? So we pull everybody's longevity for this year, and I understand it's a good sum of money. But what's our plan for next year?
There's not one that I've heard. I said last week, there, at some point, you need to put a cap on your longevity pay. But that needs, in my opinion, that needs to be already discussed and not come here tonight to try to decide what we're going to do.
I would agree with that, Ms. Wood.
Or it could be discussed before you got rolling later, also. I think everybody agrees it needs some type of cap, it needs some type of rebound, something needs to be done to it. It may be a work session meeting by itself, I don't know.
These things need to be done months before a budget even rolls decisions that shouldn't be happening, that should happen months. These decisions should be discussed or months before.
I'll just add, I agree with talking about a cap, but the reality is, we're not talking about that many employees, it's not gonna make a meaningful difference to the budget either way. So we have a revenue problem more so than an expense problem.
Well, I would say that's reversed. I would say we have a spending problem more so than we have a revenue problem.
So if we have a spending problem for the last 10 years or longer, our employees that have kept our city running and made it happen, I mean, we have infrastructure needs, we have to think about the long-term existence of this city and the services that it provides. So to me, it's not cutting employees. I'm not for this, but the only way to look at it would be, do we want to cut services? You know, if you're gonna keep services, you have to staff it with people that are knowledgeable and capable, and I believe we have that. And we're very, very, very fortunate to have this, the people that we do that are loyal, and frankly, the longer they've been here, in general, the more experience they have on how to take care of the services. So that provides some efficiencies. If you get rid of the knowledgeable people that's been here a long time, then you have all new folks, your efficiencies are gonna go down, you're gonna have a bigger need for equipment, you're gonna, all the stuff that we fix and keep going that are old and outdated equipment, that's a big deal, and that's the reality. You know, so to me, I'm not for even talking about cutting employees, but if you're gonna talk about anything, it's not employees, it's the services that we provide our city.
Would the board be open to perhaps doing a work session and us going through, where we can openly discuss with all of us, what we're looking at in these budgets? Because I'm not comfortable with what I have in front of me.
So what the board's saying is that they do not want to vote on the hold for the 2027 longevity pay. Is that what the board's saying?
I just don't know what the end game.
I'm asking is what the board's saying. If it is, I need a motion to do that. Or not do anything, we'll move on.
You make a motion, we table it.
I'll second that.
Call roll.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Gabe Williams,
Yes.
Sandra Wood.
Yes.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Longstreet.
Yes.
All right, we're on the hold for the step raises for anybody above the 2-year threshold.
I'm not familiar enough on this to, I'm not familiar enough with this on, to, like, I know in the salary survey, there were like 16 steps, is that right? Is that what y'all remember?
There's not.
In the salary survey, there was not?
There's a difference between your step raises and your merit raises.
Absolutely.
Your step raises, you're out, you top out in 3 years. It got anything to do with the merit. So in 3 years, am I correct? Your step raises are out, so we're just cutting out 1 year of it, and there's not many people gonna follow that. They've either already gotten it, or they're not gonna be there. There's gonna be a few that do. We're not talking about a big amount of money there. And the step up raises, you know, I understand some of the other arguments for some of the other pay, but the step up raises, I just totally don't understand, because, you know, there is a starting pay, there's a top out pay, you do it within 3 years, and, you know, I don't know, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of money that we're talking about for 1 more year just to let the step raises be as they are.
You've mentioned something there that I've not heard before. You said step raise and then you said merit raise. And so what I think we're confused, or at least I am, that the salary survey had step raises in it, and that salary survey was done away with.
The step raises had been there for years.
The step
Long-
raises, the step,
long before
right.
that.
But what I'm
That's
trying to
merit
understand.
raises, right?
What I'm trying to understand is the step raise would be if I hired in green, and let's say in 3 months I took a class and now I'm a lab tech 1 at the sewer plant. I don't know, I'm making up an example here. That would be my first step. Is that what I'm understanding you to say?
Yes, and you get that within 3 years, and I'm not sure how many different times that happens. 5?
All right, let Kathy come to the door if you don't mind. Push your button on.
Okay, so, any questions you have, I'm willing to answer, so let's start with the step raises and why the home. What we have discovered is that inadvertently, the prior board has not been passing step raises to get everybody up to market value. What you have been passing is you have been passing the salary survey plus a COLA raise increase. What that does is your top out of that market value, every year you have been moving that market value up, unknowingly, moving the market value up. So, when Gordon and Mr. David and I looked at it, there's an estimate right now of a difference from the 2.5% that was approved on the 2026 budget, and then the budget that was approved before that, there was the increase that you all have approved. Well, what you're doing by passing COLA raises and raises across the board, you are moving that market value every time you vote. So therefore, nobody's at, very few people are at their top out.
We're making the pie bigger every time. That's what I'm hearing you
So
say.
one of the things that I had said, the best way to explain it, is when LES came up, when this market value was passed and the budget was presented, he did it right. He came up and he said, I'm moving everybody up to market value. Then I'm giving them a COLA raise. So he fixed their step ups. He got them up to the wage study, and then he increased the market value. We've been saying, we're going to do the salary survey plus increase such and such percent. So, as an example, in that March 24, 2025 board meeting,
Yes, ma'am.
what was stated was that Alderman Gordon at that time had requested that the step rate survey be eliminated for general fund, and that a raise would be looked at during the budget process. What was put in the budget, now it was presented to the alderman, but it's in print that you're not going to look at. What was presented was a salary survey plus a 2.5 top up. You passed the budget, you passed the salary survey plus the 2.5 top up.
But the alderman voted in March of 2025 to no longer adhere to that salary survey. Am I hearing that wrong?
It's all about the wording. The wording said until the budget is
Until the next
passed.
fiscal year.
So when the budget was reviewed and
I
passed,
see.
and they did not know where that money came from, so for instance, police was at $2,048,000.
I get it.
You go and you look at the spreadsheet, it's because there was a salary survey plus a 2.5 COLA to make it $2,048,000.
The last meeting that we had with that Mayor Griggs was here, the last meeting he held, okay? It was, Mr. Roger made the motion that we reinstate the step raises and pay the people all the money, the back pay they're supposed to get in it, and it passed, and it was a 3-3 tie. And the mayor voted yes, right? Because he could bring the tie. And that's what happened. That's where that come from. We'd already voted it down, so it was put back in again. That's why it was paid.
Yes, it was voted
That's
down.
exactly why it was paid.
Reinserted when you guys passed the budget.
That's right.
You inadvertently did not look at the sheet where the budget number came from for salaries.
You know, I went back and I did some research on this salary survey.
probably.
It was February of 2024, I guess it was, and Alderman Wood is addressing that and said they waited a year on it, and I don't know what that survey cost. It was upwards of $30,000, if I'm thinking correctly. I called in task Thursday before Memorial Day. Said, I need a salary survey for the city of Lexington, Tennessee. Tuesday morning. It was day after Memorial Day. It was in my inbox. From Thursday to Tuesday over a holiday weekend. I'm going to share that with everybody on the board, and I'll share that with them tomorrow so that they can look at that to see where Lexington is with cities and populations that are considerably larger than our own. So
So we're step is at a 36-month, that is correct, but there is times in the same year that you get 2 steps. So we have 6 month, 18 month, 22 month, right, 6 months?
6 months, 8 months, 8 months, 8 months.
Yeah, so we're getting more than 1 step raise within a year.
Why?
So Fran just
why-
called off 6 races. I thought Roger said there were 3. Fran just called off 6.
3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
There are 6 now.
6 steps over 3 years.
Instead of 3 now.
Where did it come in?
So this is what we're requesting to hold. This is a big deal. It's gonna take a lot of work to fix this. We're not taking wages from people. We're not taking any wages from me or any employees. All we're asking is, this is bigger than what we are right now, and we really need to do it right. And we need to present real information to the board to make decisions that's gonna affect us moving forward. And that's longevity, that's step raise, that's how this bonus is done. There are better practices that can be put in place that we are not following, and right now it's just so convoluted and such a overlapping. We need to take a break. We need to breathe, and we need to be able to look at it.
How much is the retirement going up next year? Fund.
The retirement, what they say, about 200,000 on our retirement pension, Mr. Gordon?
Yeah, we was notified in a meeting we had that we're been underfunding the pension for the last 2 years or maybe 3. He wanted to make us aware of that, but Kathy and I had already seen that was underfunded, and we raised it to 500. And seeing that 500 we're a little short, we still need about 600 what he told us. So for reasons, we don't know why, but for some reason it's been underfunded for 3 years. And he said we're behind the curve and we're gonna have to catch up. So it may take more than 600. He's gonna tell us, but we don't know. But that's what's been going on.
So this is our reality where we're at right now. We need approved budgets by June 30th. We don't get approved budget by June 30th, we roll over using the budget that we currently have. You actually have to say amount by amount per month. If you spent so much in July, that's what you gotta spend in July this coming year. And then we only have, I think, until August 31st to get that taken care of, otherwise our budget would be a complete fail. We have such huge issues that we need time to breathe, look at it, do what's not just for one group, but do what's just across the board. And to do that, we're just asking a hold. If we have to do amendments throughout the year, we are more than willing. If you guys want to put some of these things on hold, which will just make our budget flow, we can get the second budget to the comptroller in time, we can get their approval within 30 days, and we can move on. Then we can start looking and say, okay, we want to attack the bonus and the longevity. We want to attack the wage. And we can start doing those, and then if you make a decision, we can make amendments. And we can do whatever you want, but that's what we're requesting. It is, we need time, but we need to get our budget passed.
I understand. Thank you.
You're tired of working on the budget all year is what I'm saying, you know. So when you gotta get that, to me, that looks like the way to do, you know.
Well, I have shared with Alderman, Donna, and with Gordon, we both already talked. We are already working on a calendar for next year. We are starting this process in February. We are gonna actually have numbers presented for the first reading by April. Just so much had happened between February and March that has affected the personnel to do the budgets, that we just need some time to get ourselves together, and next year we will be sailing hopefully smooth.
All right, Mayor, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the whole fiscal year 2027 step-up raises above any employee for the 2-year threshold.
I'll second, but I wanna make sure it's amended. That is Lexington Electric, General Fund, and Lexington Utilities.
Well, you really can't. Donna has to make that motion or withdraw hers, but you make that motion and she can second. Otherwise, you have to ask for.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Just second. Did you get that now? Mallory? Okay. All right, go
And
ahead.
how long do you think it's gonna take to straighten that out?
Well, unfortunately, we diligently putting numbers together. One thing we have worked on, Mr. Gordon has.
He's already been working on it for about a week. He gave me some preliminary numbers, actually gave them to me this week. And, but I told him we gotta get this budget or see where we are, but we're working on, we wanna have it all done by July the 1st, but I don't think we can get that done that quick, right?
We are diligently working on it. I put numbers together, David's put numbers together, we're working as a team, we're trying to get this fixed.
You're trying to get it fixed where you can do the step raises, is that correct?
We're trying to get it fixed and present you some choices and options.
Then why can't we, how long you say that's gonna take, temporarily hold the raises until that time, till we can get a look at, okay, this is what we can or can't do, and either do it the rest of the year or not? Why are we're here committing to holding it for the whole year?
She said we could amend it though. Once she gets done, we can amend it. That was my
As we
thing.
finish these, correct, as we finish these, we will start presenting them throughout the year. We're just saying, let us present throughout the year, and then you guys can start making choices moving forward. 2 months, 3 months, I'm not really sure, I can't answer that, because I'm giving that to the HR director, and, Mr. David Sullivan is the one that's going to do the number crunching and the presentation. But we are diligently working together with all of our department heads, Justin, the chief. We've been having several meetings, and we have been getting input, and we're trying to get this done. We know employees want to know where they stand.
Tell me how it's gonna work. You hired an employee that, you hired above step number 1 because of whatever reason, they've had experience or whatever, and they're like it, let's say, you get it at what month? You get it at what, 6?
You get it 6 months, then 8 months after that, and 8 months after that.
Let's say they're at the second 8, are they going to get,
Roger, what way that works is, if they do the next raise within, and they've been employed less than 2 years, they get it. You
no
understand?
matter if it's over 2 or 3? If it's over 2 years?
Whatever, I'll give you an example. We have people that take tests, and when they take tests to get certified, they get moved into a different pay category. We're not gonna hold them because they've done what we've asked them to do. All this is for the new employees that come on after 2 years, what that is, so we don't penalize any new hire we do, they go in and get their step raises as they come up for this coming year. And all the raises that people take qualifying tests for, they go in and get their money because that's what they took it for, was to get to the next level. So they get the steps, what they get.
It's the automatic steps for anybody over that. But most of them are just, if you come in, even if you're coming in at a higher level, you're still 1 step in a year. So it's, you're going to at least get 1 step up. Chief has somebody actually that we have already discussed. He came and asked if he had the budget for it. He has a gentleman that's leaving that's actually going to give him the difference to offer this, fireman the extra, step where he's gonna come in. So we will address that as they come along, but, they will get their 1 next step within that year of coming on. And that's one of the things, a step up should only be on a yearly basis unless you're a new hire, and then it should be, 18 months or 24 months, but that's the issues we're having, it's not separate.
So I make a motion that we do it in the Lexington Electric, utilities, and general fund, everybody citywide.
I get a second on.
Is that the hold up on a 2-year threshold, what you're talking about?
Yeah, 5.5.
Yeah, so,
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Call roll.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Gabe Williams,
Yes.
Sandra Wood,
No.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton,
no,
Tim Rhodes.
yes.
Next item on the agenda, the first reading of the ordinance to adopt the fiscal 2027 gas budget. Any questions for Justin on the budget?
This is the first reading. Yes.
I've had lots of questions and lots of conversations, this week. I would point out that, and I know that they've got their, overtime and their holiday pay and all that in their their personnel expense. But I don't know, I mean, you look at the budget, there's zero budgeted for overtime, there's zero budgeted in there for holiday pay. There's a $15,000 fuel expense increase. There's not one vehicle parked. I just, and we're increasing the fees.
This is the first
One
reading.
vehicle, I mean, vehicles not being parked, I didn't think there, what are we talking about, Donna?
I'm talking about the expenses of the
I mean,
department.
but you said not one vehicle being parked.
There's no expense cuts in this budget, none, except COLA and the longevity. Operational expenses, it's not cut. And the people have spoken loud and clear about this.
I guess I'm not following the whole deal because, and I'm not picking on the electric system, I'm just comparing that. When Mr. Jones got up there, he talked about his operational expenses went up. He included it in his budget because everything goes up, and it has, but then Mr. Roach comes in here and his operational budget has gone up for expenses, for pipe, whatever it might be, and then we're questioning that. So expenses doesn't go up for just one department and not another. I'm not following.
I would agree with that, but LES operates on 20 cents on the dollar. When we ran the numbers previously, 3 months ago, it was 70 cents on the dollar in utilities.
And
That's what I'm stating.
Two different
I
businesses.
understand that, but they also have their cost is set by TVA. This cost is supposed to be set by the board, but prior boards going 30 years back have not done what they should have done, including myself and people, like I said, 30 years back. Now, we can play around with this for the next month, and we can have T-Board to come in, and they can set those rates for us, and it's gonna be a lot higher than what Justin has actually asked for. So if that's what we wanna do, we can do that, but you talk about the people not being upset now, they come in and said it, they're really gonna be upset.
T-Board would also probably do efficiency studies in that department, wouldn't you agree?
I think they're pretty efficient, but I mean, that's my take. Justin and I talk quite frequently, and, I've been over the gas department and the water department for several years, and I actually work there, so I know how it operates, and,
This is the first reading, so I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Call the roll, please.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Wood.
I'm voting yes for this because it's a first reading, it has to be pushed through, but the second reading may be different, but yes.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
No.
Tim Rhodes.
No.
Donna Ross.
I'm going to vote yes on this simply because it does have to be pushed through, but this is a first reading. I'd like that to be noted in the minutes, please.
Thank y'all. You might
I have a
have-
question.
Sorry, Kathy, go ahead.
Just in for Melissa and I, and trying to get the second budget together, can we revisit the longevity and the bonus? I'd like to know, what do you want us to plug into the second reading? Right now, our budget for the second reading is going to if we got information now, we could present a more reliable, factual second budget to you. But right now, I just let you know, right now what you're going to get is you're going to get a second reading at $250 on the bonus and no longevity. So that's what you're going to get right now.
I don't know how you were gonna figure it any other way because the board had voted to do it that way. So I don't understand what you're,
Okay.
what
But
you're
the board
saying.
never actually voted what we're going to do with the longevity. It was put up.
That means it's not like it was.
Yeah, it was tabled.
I would like for us
But
to
we
look
can
at
do
the
it.
expenses of these departments, is what I would like for us to look. I agree, Roger, that's what we need. We need a work session.
Between now and then, and give you some direction, maybe in the work session where you go with. I don't really know, if you're guessing on what we're gonna do up here, I don't wanna
Let me
represent.
look into that with MTS. I'm just trying to get our timing. Our 10 days that has to be posted in the newspaper is gonna move us to our regular board meeting on the 22nd. That's where it moves us to, because, we can't put it in the newspaper until a Wednesday, so that moves our dates on it. So as of right now, the second reading is gonna be the second board meeting. But I understand, and once again, I have shared that with some of the aldermen, that moving forward next year, we will have mayor board work sessions early in March, April. That's where those belong. And I fully believe in those. But let me look, I hear what you're saying. Let me see if we could do one of those meetings during that 10-day gap, or if we gotta wait that 10-day and then do a work session and then have to make another call meeting after that. So let me get dates for you.
I thought the state legislature had passed something that said notification to the public via social media was now acceptable as a timeline. So that cuts down from Wednesday to Wednesday in a local newspaper.
I will look at that, but we also have to look at our charter and our ordinance to say what we say. Some of our ordinance and charters actually says the newspaper still, which
Yes.
as of right now, we still have to abide by what those say. But, all right, I hear you. We will work on getting a date to do a work session, see if we could do it during that 10-day, which will be great if we can. If not, we'll do it as soon as that 10 days over, and then we'll just move a special call meeting for just the budget.
Thank you, Kathy.
Anybody else?
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
And I'm just asking for clarification on how to move forward. So on the step raises, I know it was included for the electric system as well. Of course, whenever our salaries were brought to market value a few years ago, we didn't do the step raises, so it was just a one-time push. So the only employees we have that may be included, and it depends on how you want to define the step raises, would be our apprentice linemen. So when they're hired in, they're told when they're hired in, they're gonna be put through a 5-year apprenticeship. And during that apprenticeship, they'll get a pay increase every year on their year anniversary until they reach the top out pay to become a journeyman lineman. So that would be when they complete the apprenticeship training and become a journeyman. I think there's 6 or 7, I'm not sure off the top of my head, that would fall in that category of an apprentice. 3 of those, I believe, will become a journeyman in October of this year. So they'll basically get a certificate saying they completed the apprenticeship program and are now considered a journeyman lineman. So that would be their 5th year. So, I just need some clarification. Do I include those apprentice linemen in the 2-year threshold, or is this something considered differently? We've been doing it this way for many, many years. And so I don't wanna do something irrationally to those employees.
When I proposed this, I didn't understand the time that you had the situation you have. So I believe the board, understanding what you're asking, I believe they could make a motion in the next, so you can clarify how you.
And I just need clarification.
That's right, I think we can do that, I think the board can clarify that. We can, board.
Can we do that tonight?
That's
It's
just
not on
like
the-
the other.
It's not on the
It's
agenda.
not on the agenda, you can't do anything, it's not on the agenda.
So we can discuss it in the work session also.
We can address that in the work session.
Okay.
Okay.
Any idea when that work session will be?
We have to check and see what's
See
legal.
if we have to wait that 10 days. So what happens from the first reading to our second reading, it's mandatory for us to post a 10-day
Understood.
budget. So I have to take your all's budget, our budget, put it out
think the mayor is trying to stop a runaway train, and I just wish we could all kind of get on board with it.